Hey, good morning there, Blue Jay Call Tarot's listeners. Thought I'd do another daily read because I got the time, and I thought I'd start off with the Zun Cone pack today instead of the Rider Waite, more traditional one. So let's get a card to think about while we're going through the other cards. Let's see. Ooh, this one. When walking, walk. When sitting, sit. But don't wobble. So I think the reminder here is whatever you're doing, be present in it fully. If you're walking, walk. Enjoy the walk for as most as you can. If you're sitting, take a seat, really sit. Don't wobble about it. Don't be indecisive about it, but do what you're doing with all of your everything, with your whole heart. Really, I mean, going everywhere with your whole heart takes you to the places you need to be. You're open then. You may be afraid, but you're still vulnerable enough to go forward despite those fears. So, let's see what energies are in store for us today. For those following the moon, it's going into Aquarius later, so that ought to be fun. And on the bottom of the deck, we get the Devil. So some Devil energy today. That's Capricorn usually. The Devil's all about being stuck in a situation or a set of circumstances that you don't really want to be in, but you can't see your way out of it. And usually, like when you get to that point where you're so frustrated, you don't know what to do, laughter. Find something to laugh at. Find something that cracks you up. And that'll help you see the other choices that are available. Now, as I'm shuffling, this Page of Swords comes out. So the Page is a princess in other decks. And the Page brings messages. And the Page of Swords is all about wisdom, strength, and insight. So it would seem like with this Devil energy, using your wisdom, strength, and insight will be a better option than going in the other direction that the Devil offers, which is death. And often that bondage is being stuck in a way of thinking that doesn't serve us or those around us. And as a result, we wind up creating a lot of conflicts around us, a lot of drama. I mean, just think about your life. Is it pretty easy going, or is it drama filled? Is there always something? There's always some drama that got left out because maybe you weren't completely honest with people, or maybe you were and it just didn't work out, or you're stuck with people who are like flaky. Final outcome here is the Five of Swords, so it would seem like cutting this off, this Devil energy, whatever this decision is. You can see our Five of Swords guy's actually got a big smile on his face, so it's all about death and defeat and stuff with the Five of Swords, but defeating the Devil is probably the case here. You'll notice again the guy is laughing and he's got a smile on his face, he's got all the swords. Maybe he laughed at the Devil and chose the right direction, and now he's the Page of Swords. Let's get one more clarifier on this just for fun. Yeah, new start, the Fool. If that would have if I would have put that on the other side, that would have been foolishness that leads you to sort of like the death of ideas or the death of fun, total death with the Ten of Swords. Anyway, current energy today is the Two of Swords. A lot of swords today, so balance and peace, pleasure after pain coming in, this new start sort of like being the undercurrent of the deck, so there may be a new start going on in your life. What's coming in energy is the Hierophant, so some wise wisdom. You may be talking to yourself in a much more a smarter way. You're just like using better words, you're using more solid judgment. The Hierophant is all about that wisdom that's outside of ourselves too, or inside of ourselves that we haven't revealed to ourselves yet. What's unknown about the day? The King of Pentacles. So what's unknown is steady, reliable, solid increases, gains. So there may be some aspect of the day where you're like, I'm taking it easy. Maybe you're working all weekend or whatever, but this is a moment of peace and reflection, so you may not be as steady and reliable today. And this may be unknown to you. You may haven't accepted that yet. You're like, I'm still going to do all these things. And instead of taking that moment to balance yourself and get in peace and harmony if you do have a lot of work coming up. So that's something to consider. If you're thinking about relationship questions in your head, and again, this is a general read, so take what applies to you and leave what doesn't. you're in a relationship, you may have a partner who's not that reliable, and that's what's unknown to you. Or maybe they are steady and reliable, and that's unknown to you because they haven't showed that side of themselves yet. Geez, I'm clumsy this morning. This is the thing about doing it before the tea kicks in. Let's get some clarifiers on what's coming in. The Hermit. So related to this wisdom, you'll probably be taking some time to yourself to seek that inner wisdom, that inner light, to go in deep and really take whatever knowledge the Hierophant provides, or the wisdom provides, if you will, the higher power, whatever your higher power is, and turning it inside, really seeking how to incorporate it into your life, and let's see where that goes. King of Swords, so that's moving you to this sort of steady, reliable, increasing sort of place. And I think I just read the King of Swords for the Page of Swords, but oh well, nobody's paying me here. So final outcome on this King of Swords energy, the Empress. So whatever that is will move you into a balance of your feminine, masculine energies inside yourself, this wisdom. And once you're in that place of balance, you can act from a place of truth. I mean, really, if you can't express what you're doing or what you need from people with truth involved in it, you're probably a manipulator and somebody that folks will be a little bit wary of. Although sometimes if you're too truthful, people think that's wary too, because folks seem to expect others to slide. Now, what's unknown with this situation, there was too much force, Eight of Wands, so you may have been too forceful in a situation that's unknown to you and chased away a reliable and steady person, or you're being too forceful with yourself, and as a result you're impacting your own success, your own ability to be reliable, because you're like, you gotta do this now, and you're like, but now's not the right time, I don't want to do it now. Really, timing is a big part of everything. Now, further elaboration on what's unknown, Queen of Cups. So there's some emotions tied to whatever this force is, whatever this unknown thing is. And a lot of times people wind up dodging deeper emotions. They don't want to admit to themselves how they feel or what's important. And so there may be some force to keep an emotion at bay. And that force is preventing you from being steady and reliable. And that's unknown to you because it's percolating around. It's a thought you haven't decided to accept yet. The High Priestess says, yeah, like look inside for that internal wisdom on that middle path, find that balance. That's what the High Priestess is all about. And if you can dig out this unknown idea, you can probably root it out and get rid of it, and move towards a more stable and generous place, perceptive, and more confident in yourself. So sometimes digging deep is one of the hardest things we have to do, and we all avoid it, like admitting to ourselves how we truly feel, or how our actions have affected us, or where we're going with our actions. Let's get clarifier on this Two of Swords. Yeah, so Four of Pentacles. So there's material gain happening, but discontent with fixed conditions, which goes along with this Two of Swords. It's just like pleasure after pain, like whatever your current energy is, like you're doing the work, you may have your head down, you may not be thinking about things too deeply. Something's coming in that's going to cause you to go in deep and look, or at least seek that inner balance with some pretty high ordered wisdom or ideas or concepts. Maybe they're yours, maybe they come from outside of you. But it can lead you to this place of balance where you're sort of controlling your male and feminine sides, and you can operate from a sense of honesty. And then unknown to this whole situation is this steady reliableness, and that may be your steady reliableness. It may be missing, like unknown to this situation. It may be there, but the cautions are using force related to your emotions. Seeking that higher wisdom of yourself, like maybe not acting impulsively, and cutting off things with death and transformation. So taking an idea that may be in the back of your mind that's held you back, pulling it to the forefront, looking at it, cutting off the parts that don't work will lead you to a transformation there. Let's see if we get that sort of support from our final outcome card, the Star. Yeah, hopes, dreams, wishes. Let's see if these connect. Yeah, a rush and a vigor. So what you probably have coming ahead is, like, as this information comes in, it may illuminate part of this. You may realize your hopes, dreams, and wishes have been blocked, or you can move to them with a rush and a vigor, with a tower moment, and a tower moment is about like this big realization, like freeing yourself. And again, we said the devil at the bottom of this energy, on the bottom of the deck, so there is some need to free yourself from something, from some thought, from some constraint. And on either side of the tower, we have the Page of Wands in Judgment. Page of Wands is again a princess, so she offers a message. We don't know whether the message is enthusiastic, it could be revenge oriented, and sometimes like we hold ourselves back from being steady and reliable by being vengeance oriented instead of being enthusiastic. So it could be the simple switch here is to change from maybe a vengeance, forceful, like, oh, this really makes me mad sort of thing, to more of an enthusiastic nature. And there's some level of judgment happening here on a high level related to this tower. So there'd probably be like a big reveal and a transformation. Yeah, something that leads to a perfected work potentially, depending on how you go with that judgment. I'm really clumsy this morning. And then on this other side, we have the King of Cups. So again, more emotions, more poeticness. And so you may have a choice between some sort of emotional situation and perfecting your work. And that may be this force. Maybe there is an emotional situation that's weighing heavily on you, and you need to transform that into more of a positive emotional situation and a balance. With the King and Queen of Cups, I'm guessing that's somehow connected. And then perfected work, that just might be about focusing on your work or focusing your emotions into balance on either side. We got the double Gemini there, perfected work. So that might be a way there. What is this tower moment going to take us to? Justice in the world. So whatever you're deeply thinking of or trying to transform, or even identify if you're not sure about it, it'll probably come with a rush and a vigor. There may be some wise trigger moment that comes on it, and ultimately the bottom of the deck is showing like a freedom from continued oppression or bondage or self-restraint, moving to a new path. Let's get one more card because I think I still have a little bit of time. Oh, I get two. So this justice may move you to a Two of Cups situation again. This can be about yourself, where you're balancing yourself, your masculine and your feminine sides. And that makes you feel like the Queen of Pentacles, where you're this solid creator, you're charming, you're truthful, you're in your power totally. I mean, we're all most in our power at our best when we can be honest, straightforward, we can make agreements without somebody having to lose and somebody having to win. Win-win agreements are the way to go. Let's see, I'm shuffling these cards around here, wondering if I can pull another card. Why not? Ace of Pentacles, yeah, so proposals, movement, good work, if you will. Putting up walls, there may be some cruel disaster ahead as part of this, or you may perceive that, but really any solid plan includes putting up the right boundaries and the right walls, so you don't have to look at this as a cruelty thing. We'll get one more here. Yeah, the Emperor. So having the appropriate boundaries, balancing yourself, digging deep, taking wisdom from outside, starting new paths for things that don't serve you, should lead you to a place of being in your Emperor power, where you are strong, authoritative, confident. The cautions here are like what's unknown is too much force, and the Emperor, those things are always problems. People get too forceful, they come off as selfish, they come off as not caring about the other person, and you wind up in a situation where your hopes and dreams and wishes wind up evaporating. So again, balance that force that you have in the world, seek that internal wisdom. If there's something emotional you've been hiding from yourself, dig deep, pull it out. It seems to be the way and the path to your hopes, dreams, and wishes coming true. Take care, everybody.